What's up, everybody? Nate here, aka Fresh P, and I am here to answer some frequently asked beer questions. Hashtag FABQ. I'm gonna do my best anyway. Cheers. Sipping on a little KBS. So, you guys probably all know about these questions already, but it was started by Tasting Nitch, and I was tagged by Brian at Short Circuited Brewers. Okay, let's dive in. Number one, how did you get into beer geeking and why beer? Why beer? Because I've always loved beer. I love the flavor of it. I have never tasted a beer. Well, I take that back. I have tasted beers that made me cringe, but for the most part, there's not many beers that I don't like. And that goes from sours to smoked beers to stouts to IPAs to, lagers to light lagers to imports to whatever. I like beers. I like beer, period. So, how did I get into it? I guess I got into it pretty early, probably before I was actually legally allowed to drink. So I was in my pre-20s. I was late teens, right? 18, 19. And I had a few beers here and there through high school. For most of high school I didn't drink. It was like my senior year I started having a couple beers here and there. And, the standard American light lagers really didn't do much for me. So I started trying imports, like Heineken and St. Pauli Girl and Amstel Light, so on and so forth. And when I tried, I think it was Red Stripe, which is a lager, I was really like, man, that's a cool beer. It was different, even though it was a lager. It was different. It had a little more flavor. I don't know, whatever it was. It just got me in, and that was the beer that I kind of started geeking out on. Like, where do I find Red Stripe? Where can I buy it? And I remember finding a liquor store that had it, and just being like, heck yeah, give me some Red Stripe. So I bought a case of it. It was like, I don't know, $30 or something. Ridiculous. So I guess that's the beer that kind of got me beer geeking. But I still, to this day, I like Red Stripe. So from there on, I just started trying new beers and, Anchor and Sierra Nevada. And this was like, we're talking 1995, 96? No. This would have been, 95, 96, 97. Okay? Time frame. I remember getting like Pyramid, Apricot Ale, and Sam Adams. I was really digging Sam Adams, the Boston Lager, and the other beers that they came out with. I liked their. Remember at that time I really liked. I think that was like I started getting into fruited beers. Like I had the Apricot Ale from Pyramid. I really dug that, and I'd get a 6-pack and I'd drink like one a month, and that was it. And then just like save the rest and just have them every once in a while, and then drink macro crap the rest of the time. What was your first beer is the next question. My first beer was when I was probably 2 or 3, and that was an Old Style, G. Heilemann's Old Style out of La Crosse, Wisconsin. And the reason I had it at such an early age is because, I was at a family party, Christmas party, whatever it was, and summer party, and I asked somebody for a sip, and I really liked it. So then I went around the party asking other people for sips, and I think it was at a Christmas party. My mom's told me this story. I went around to like nearly everybody, all my uncles and aunts and great uncles and everybody at the party, and most people were giving me sips, and then I disappeared. So what happened to Nate, right? So my mom looked all over and she found me upstairs in a bedroom, passed out on a bed. And when she woke me up, I threw up. I hurled everywhere. And she knew. She could smell the beer on me. It was just, she obviously, she knew I was hammered. So I don't remember waking up with a hangover. I think I got all the toxins out. But yeah, so I've always liked beer, from early on. After that, she made a little sign that hung around my neck, and it said, "Do not serve me beer." So my beer supply ran out real quick, but I picked it up later in life. So yeah, G. Heilman's Old Style. What's your favorite beer? Well, my favorite beer. Right now, my favorite beer is KBS. But if I had to pick one, that would probably put a big damper on my whole beer geeking life. I think it would be impossible for me to pick one beer to have as a favorite beer. Man. I think my favorite beer is Dropkick Nate. Yeah, I think so. I love that beer. It's so enjoyable while it's on tap or in available. And then when it's gone, I find myself saying, man, I could really go for a DKN right now. Damn it. So my favorite beer is DKN. It's my own. I'm not trying to be, cocky or conceited or whatever you want to say, but I really like that beer. It's just great. It's an easy drinking pale ale. It's hoppy. It's got everything I'm looking for. It's dry. You can drink like more than 3. Yeah, it's a great beer. The fact that everyone in the world is brewing it is pretty cool too, but that's not why I like it so much. I don't care if you guys brew it or not, but it's awesome that you do. How can you drink so much and stay healthy? Well, I can drink so much because I've had a lot of practice. I've been practicing a long, long time. How can I stay healthy? I need to work on that a little. I think that my main thing that I need to do to improve my health is basically to eat better. I move enough. I move a lot. I just don't eat great. And that's it. I think if I balance my diet, I think that I'd drop a few pounds. I am overweight. But, so yeah, am I healthy? No, I'm probably not that healthy. Number 5. I might have moved these numbers around, but whatever. Number 5, are you an alcoholic? Well, I guess that depends on who you ask. If I'm asking myself, no. I don't need beer. I don't need alcohol to get through the day. I don't need alcohol to move on and wake up and get going. I don't need that. I have 3 kids. My 3 kids are the reason I get up every day. That's what I need. I need my kids to succeed. I need them to be ready to go. And that's my driver. That's my driving force. Beer to me is like the balancing factor, right? I've got all these obligations. I've got all this responsibility with work, with my family, with kids, money stuff. Beer kind of is that's what keeps my teeter-totter in the balance. It keeps me sane. So it's a nice release. It's nice to be able to have a few beers and relax and kind of let the worries go. But I'm not an alcoholic. I don't feel that I am. Now, there is somebody who was watching my video a few weeks ago, and he said, "You are an alcoholic." So that guy thinks I'm an alcoholic, but, my doctor didn't think so, doesn't think so, so booyah. Take that. Take that. All right, what's your favorite ingredient? favorite ingredient. My favorite ingredient for brewing in a beer. I'm assuming that's what you mean. What's my favorite ingredient? Because I really like eggs. I think eggs are great. I think they do a lot of wonderful things. But my favorite beer ingredient has to probably be yeast. Yeast. Because I could throw a bunch of hops. I could throw the world's best hops into a kettle, and I could throw the best malts into the mash tun, and I can mash it and hop it and boil it and do all that. But without yeast, I got nothing. Remember, brewers make wort, yeast makes beer. So without the yeast, there is no beer. There's nothing. We don't have this glorious hobby. We got nothing. And I also love what yeast does. Different yeast will do to the same hops and the same malts, and just it's amazing. The difference, if you've ever done a split batch and done 2 different yeasts, it's glorious. In fact, right now I have 2 yeasts working on the same wort, the same hop schedule, the same boil, everything. One's a lager, one's an ale. One was thought to be a Brettanomyces yeast, but it's not. It's a Saccharomyces. So that's going to be fun. I cannot wait for another week or 2. So yeast, number 1 ingredient is yeast. All right. Do you brew? I think I just told you that. I brew. Love to brew. I wish I could brew 3 times a week. But I'd need all of you people to come over and help me drink the beer that I made. Because there's no way I could drink it all. Even if I was an alcoholic, I couldn't drink it all. Next question. If you could have one beer forever, what would that beer be? Oh, damn. One beer forever. Do I have to pay for it? Is it available year-round? I've heard people say Pliny the Elder. I've heard others say different things. I can't list them right now. One that stood out was Bitburger. That was fun. I like that. Last night I had a DAB, a DAB. I think it's an Austrian. I think it's an Austrian beer, but I threw the bottle out. Sorry. That beer was really good. That's a great beer. Super easy to drink. But honestly, if I had one beer and I had to choose one for eternity, PBR. PBR freaking rocks. Love that beer. So easy to drink. You can drink it on the beach. You can drink it in the winter time. You can drink it whenever. It's awesome. And number 9. I'm trying to keep this under 15 minutes, folks, so just FYI. I'm at 13. Who in the beer world do I look up to? That's a long list. It's a really, really, really long list. I look up to really what I guess I consider my biggest influences. I think Papazian, Palmer, Brad Smith is awesome. What he's done for this whole, Beersmith is just out of control. The ability to craft a recipe, and I know for a fact that commercial breweries are using this. So they're doing large scale stuff with a piece of software that was written for homebrewers, and just what he's done, his podcast that he does, his YouTube stuff that he's done. He's so in it. I think Brad Smith is amazing. I don't think I've heard anyone mention him, but he is. He's really, really done a lot for homebrewing, for brewing in general. Enabled so many people to create great beers. I know he's really helped for me in my recipe formulation. being able to figure stuff out. I'm rolling over 15. Sorry, deal with it. Yeah, so that also the kind of the founding fathers, I guess, of craft beer in the U.S. is have been huge. You know, the Sam Calgione, however you say it. What's his name? I don't know the guy from Anchor, but somebody mentioned him. So the guy that started Anchor Brewing way back in the day in the 70s, that guy, the guys up at Rogue, Jim Cook, you know, Sam Adams, Sierra Nevada. You know, I can't list the names. I'm bad with names anyway, but those guys, the founding fathers, really, the guys at Pyramid, the guys at Stone, all those guys that really kicked off the whole craft beer movement and really set this thing into high gear. You know, some of them have been doing it for 40 plus years. You know, it took a while to gain some traction. I think Sam, Boston Lager, Sam Adams, you know, that really, I think that was pivotal, and I think that really was the kickoff that really got this thing going. So, all those guys, and then of course, my peers, all my buddies on YouTube, everybody, all you guys. I can't. The list is too long. I'm subscribed to like 1,500 channels or something. It's insane. All the brew tubers. You're so inspiring to me, and that's really, I look up to every one of you. The guys putting out videos every week or every month, or guys that have fallen off the face of the earth and then come back 2 years later. You know, just awesome. Awesome to see you guys keeping at it and keeping the hobby and the love for this hobby alive. So that's it. Cheers to y'all. I'm gonna get out of here, taking too much of your time. Great stuff. Cheers. And who am I tagging? Phew, that's a tough question. I'm gonna tag Lermo22. I'm gonna tag Kyle Orsted, Lucky 13 Brewing. I'm gonna tag. I was thinking about it earlier. Josh Secor. I think you've been tagged, but you're getting tagged again, damn it. Aaron Gross. Chubby. Shadow Beast. You're tagged. Cheers. Talk to y'all later. Keep brewing. Keep enjoying them craft beers.